And now, another episode of MMA Gossip with your boys.
Boom, we're live, baby. MMA Gossip, episode number 90, back in your life. Thank you all for sticking around with us this far. I don't know how you're doing it. We talk about it post every episode. We talk about how much we enjoy doing this. So if anyone, even if it's one person out there enjoys listening to it, we greatly appreciate it. So with that being said, if you like the content we've been putting out, hit the like button, subscribe, comment below. Let us know what you want to see more of, less of. And yeah, I mean, we got our first true podcast hater this weekend. Mike went back and forth with him on Twitter, and he proceeded to watch our YouTube videos. So you know what? Thank you. Thanks for the viewership, bro. We really appreciate it. What else? We're coming off a fucking awesome weekend. The boys were at Mike's new house. We had a great time watching UFC 268. Some fucking awesome fights went down that we absolutely have to talk about. There's a lot coming out of that weekend. Canelo Alvarez won his fight, no surprise to anyone. Some Bellator fights last weekend, some disappointing. More Bellator this weekend, some exciting matchups, some absolute Bellator setups that, you know, maybe could go awry. Who the fuck knows? That I know there's a whole lot of news. Like we always say, the world of MMA never ever sleeps. You know, we're coming off Chandler and Gaethje, and people are bringing up the Eddie conversation again. Who knows what he does once he finishes his contract with one. Frankie Edgar, my favorite fighter ever. I hate to criticize him. Still thinks it was an early stoppage. I just think that is bananas. Izzy and Whitaker's getting lined up. Bilal Muhammad and Whitaker. Obviously, Jorge Masvidal's out of his fight. A lot of people are hopping on to replace him. Chimaev, I saw. Gilbert Burns, I saw. Bilal said it, but now he's got to fight with Wonder Boy, obviously. Even fucking Nick Diaz came out and said he would take the fight. So anybody's trying to get that top fight. So we'll see what happens there. Max Holloway is fucking fighting this weekend, for God's sakes. I cannot wait. I hope he puts away Yair early or just overwhelms him with strikes. Yair's been out of the game too long. Hopefully Ring Rust has caught up to him. Max does what Max does and gets a big fight next. Because like he himself said, he's always in the Conor McGregor conversation. He's already got a significant win over the 155 champ. You know, he's debatably already beat the 145-pound champ once. So business is good for Max Holloway. I'm sure we'll talk about that and a whole lot fucking more. So without further ado, Mike, get us into it, baby.
Oh man, you just laid the table, man. But one thing in my head, I can't forget when us three were on the couch, and I think it was the Chandler Gaethje fight, so everyone was awake, you know, before the girls fell asleep, and then the fight starts, and we're just like, oh, like absolutely reacting to every blow landed, like in unison, in sync. That I'll never forget that moment when we were just like out of our seats, man. Like, what a fight! Only to be preceded by Shane Burgos and Billy Q putting on an absolute barn burner. That, oh my God, both fights could be honestly thrown into top 10 fights of the year, you know, if not top 5. So like, it was just like it was like an incredible couple of fights right there. It was a lot of fun. And the night still finished strong. Like Usman and Colby wasn't as strong as the first one, but it was still like a great fight. And I see some people like giving it to Colby. I really don't see it, but no, Usman is the man. I got to give him credit where credit's due. As much as I wanted Colby to win, he is that fucking good. He is really good. So.
My opinion of Colby honestly went up after the fight too. Full disclosure, you guys were there. At the end of the second round, I was like, oh, it's over. You know, it's over. And then the third round happened. I was like, okay, maybe not. Fourth round, going into the fifth round, that fight was never over. Colby never counted himself out. He came back. I think, I'm trying to remember the rounds right. He definitely lost 1 and 2, 2 being bad. And then round 3 came out and wobbled Usman a couple times, continued that into the fourth, and I think the fifth kind of decided it. I saw a good scorecard where there was MMA Mania, put them side by side, how many judges scored what round for, you know, each round for who, and it was good insight. Definitely another fucking close fight. It's in, you know, in an alternate universe, Kamaru Usman doesn't exist. Colby Covington is the champ and the reigning champ. You know, I don't see anyone that really beats him other than Usman.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like 1A and 1B right there. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
There's two narratives, how good Usman is, but how much Colby actually believed in himself come rounds 3 and 4 to come back the way he did. I mean, like, that he's got balls. That with as much as people like hate on him, he has an incredible skill set and he's got a lot of heart. Full disclosure, I don't have any computer in front of me, so I can't really run down the list as much as possible. So Matt, can you take reins and bring us through the Bellator and the UFC fights?
Yeah, let's start with Bellator so Chris can go off real quick because that's more his forte than the rest of us. Chris, do you want to start us off with Bellator?
Yeah, I'll just do it quick because, again, it's one of those top-heavy Bellator-esque cards. In the main event, Chris Cyborg defending her women's featherweight 145 belt against Sinead Kavanaugh. Sinead is, I think her record is, I'll tell you right now, 7-4. Okay, I was going to say like 6-4, but she's 7-4. Not great. Coming off two, nice wins. And Cyborg is just fucking Cyborg. Came in the Bellator, dominated Julia Budd. But then, the competition she's been fighting in Bellator, beating Julia Budd. Then, who was it? Arlene Blankow? Was that who she beat next? And then she beat Leslie Smith. So it's like, all right, I guess it is what it is. But now she's going to come in here. She's my dude. I saw online somewhere, someone was like, guess the odds of the Cyborg line in the comments. And I was like, she's got to be like minus 800 and minus 900. She's minus 3,000, dude. That is insane. Insane. So she's going to win. And then I guess, honestly, from here, maybe we'll start having the Kayla Harrison conversation. Who knows? Kayla Harrison was at the UFC fights doing her thing. So, who the hell knows? Dana doesn't have to like her to sign her. He knows how good she is. But did you see what he said, by the way? Side note, Dana White said if Amanda Nunes fought Kayla Harrison's opponents, it would be the first time there was a death in MMA.
He's not wrong.
So there's that. But yeah, maybe Chris Cyborg wins and they sign Kayla Harrison. That's the next fight. That would be a huge fucking fight. So we'll see. Needless to say, Chris Cyborg going to win, definitely inside the distance. Co-main event is actually a pretty cool fight. It's Tyrell Fortune taking on Linton Vassell, both training down in Florida. Linton Vassell coming out of, I want to say 365, but it's Sanford MMA, I should say. And, British kickboxer taking on a wrestler. What do you think is going to happen here? They're definitely trying to promote Tyrell Fortune, and that just seems the way it's going to go. What are you laughing at, Matt or Mike?
I just what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, it's true. It's like, all right, Linton Vassell's, don't get me wrong, a gigantic light heavyweight, but this is a heavyweight fight. So he's obviously going to be the smaller guy in there taking on a proven heavyweight. And Linton Vassell himself has been through the ringer, fought for the light heavyweight belt a couple times against Liam McGeary and some memorable fights. Mr. Wonderful knocked his ass out, the head kick. So anyway, he's been in some pretty memorable fights, and I personally like him a lot. He follows me on Instagram, which I think is just super fucking random, but I don't think it's him that operates his Instagram. Anyway, I'm going with Tyrell Fortune in this fight. Next up, Aaron Pico taking on Justin Gonzalez. I know Mike has a hot take on this fight. So odds-wise, Aaron Pico, I think he's either won 5 in a row or this will be 5 in a row if he is to win. Justin Gonzalez, on the other hand, is not, anyone to play with. He's 12-0, and his amateur record, I believe, was like close to that as well. 10, 12-0 as well. So he's been around the block. Definitely has a more extensive MMA career than Aaron Pico. But Mike, let us know what are you hearing? What are you thinking?
So, I got a lot of respect for Justin Gonzalez for sure, but I think that Aaron Pico is a special talent if he can put everything together, right? I mean, he's got, he definitely had a few hiccups along the road. That's fine. I'm glad he got him out of the way when he was young. It's just that those knockouts were a couple pretty vicious, So we got to always remember that. But he is a special talent. For him to open up minus 500 and then be bet down to minus 300, I think people are kind of still have that in their minds, because I think he's going to go out there for tomorrow night. And I think he's going to put an absolute ass whooping on Gonzalez if he doesn't get clipped. I think I think he is that good. I think he's that good. What do you think?
I agree. He is that good. His wrestling is that good. He's finally really, 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 really starting to put it all together. I mean, he grew up, training with AJ McKee. Look what AJ McKee is doing. Antonio McKee's been helping him out a lot. Jackson Wink's been helping him out a lot. So he's putting in the work and he's looking good. Justin Gonzalez, though, fought on the Contender Series, so people think highly of him. He won too, and didn't get the contract, but he's definitely at least UFC caliber. So we'll see what Aaron Pico's got. I think they're building him the right way now. He might have jumped too far, got to the ringer too early in his career, and now is on a proper trajectory. So we'll see what happens. Plus, he said himself that now that AJ McKee is champ, he's not fighting AJ McKee. He has no interest. They have no interest in fighting each other. So he doesn't have to rush his way to the belt. He can take his time and take these kind of fights, which is great.
Yeah.
Next up, Arlene Blencow, speak of the devil, taking on Pam Sorensen. This fight is super Bellator-esque, 145 fight, kind of just some filler on the card, and maybe potentially just because the 45ers are fighting for the belt, maybe a backup situation or, just trying to feature the women kind of, but really this fight has no value. I'm sure Blencow is a sizable favorite. What are the odds?
I'm not sure.
Blencow is -365, Sorensen's +280.
There you go.
Blencow
what I figured. Huh?
She's as high as 400, -400.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I figured. Next up, another fucking Bellator setup fight. Steve Mowry taking on Rakhim Cleveland. Steve Mowry coming in at 9-0, heavyweight fight. They're trying to set him up. I'm sure he's a sizable favorite as well. And anything can happen at heavyweight, but I think this is a setup fight, and Mowry should roll here. What are the odds, Matt?
-760.
There you go. Nothing here. I know what's her name. Matt's favorite fighter is on the prelims. Where is she?
Loretta.
She is Valerie Loretta taking on Taylor Turner in a 128-pound catchweight fight, which is a little odd. And Loretta, we all know, is nothing special. She is hot, has a six-pack, and shakes her ass on camera regularly. So therefore, she's a star in Bellator at 3-1, coming off a loss. We'll see what she's got. And lastly, Cody Law is on this card. They like to put Cody Law on big cards in horrible positions for whatever reason. He's 4-0. I believe all four are in Bellator. He's got that wrestling background. He wrestled at Penn State. Real good wrestling base, obviously. And Bellator believes in him, I think, and they're throwing him a fucking meatball underhand in another fight for him to win. Matt, what are the odds on this one?
-4,000.
Are you shitting me?
-4,000, -5.
Yeah.
Dude's a clown.
Fuck.
So ridiculous.
There you go. When I said meatball, I didn't realize it was like a meatball the size of a pizza. But that's Bellator 271 in a nutshell. And don't get me wrong, you guys know me. I'm Chrissy Bellator. I fucking love it. I live for this shit. So I'm happy that they're putting on cards, and it's awesome. But some of these are just outlandish.
Yeah. All right. Let's get running through UFC Fight Night, Holloway versus Rodriguez. There's Mike, you were right. There's some sleepers on this card. Sam signed on. Let's start at the bottom here. Hold on. I'm on best fight odds, and I know they always don't go in the correct order. No, they're actually right. Oh my God, Mike, you made me do this shit. The first fight, I don't know how to pronounce this dude's name. Kennedy fucking
Nzechukwu
versus Dung Yajung. Dong Jung.
You kidding me? Daung Jung.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Dude, the ones that are two letters aren't hard.
No, because Google puts it backwards for some reason. When, I don't know, that's just his name.
A lot of Asian countries do that. Just like, remember Ichiro Suzuki? Everyone called him Ichiro. And Weili Zhang Weili. Same thing, bro.
Yeah. Well, never mind. Chris, go ahead. Who you got there?
I actually saw this because I was looking to put an underdog parlay together, and I like Kennedy here. I saw he's a tiny underdog, and I'd take him at plus money, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well.
Is he still plus money?
Yeah,
the UFC felt like they thought they had something with him a little bit, and I mean, I personally am not that high on him, but I think in this role, he does well.
Yeah, I'm not very high on him either. But then I'm not high on Daung Jung either. I mean, he's beaten tomato cans, and he had a draw with Sam Alvey. You know what I'm saying? So I think I don't know. There's just a lot of people have seemed to be on Kennedy to win, but the odds seem to just stay stagnant. So like, I'm not playing it, but I 100% lean Kennedy. I feel like he has the higher ceiling. He's really raw, but he has a higher ceiling and he's tougher down the stretch. I'll go with him, but I don't know. Something about the odds is mad sketchy.
Next up, got Mark DeCasey and Rafael Alves. I like DeCasey here a lot. I mean, DeCasey is such a weird case because there was so much hype around him and then it died so fast, almost just as fast as like, I don't know, like Jason Knight, for example. He was knocking people out and then he wasn't.
That's a perfect example of that's exactly the same.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing. Didn't they fight too? No, they didn't.
I don't know. I think
they didn't.
You're right, Matt, but I think the hype is done. Like I think
it's done.
It's just like he's super athletic and super fast and good kick, but he's good. He's just like he can shut down. You know, if the fight's not going his way, he just starts to like, you know, maybe I'm just gonna play a little defense here and try not to get knocked out, kind of thing. Like he did with. Yeah, I know, but we saw. Remember how Alves went against Demiris Magulov and he was like a plus 400 and he won the third round and dropped Demiris Magulov. He's got some fire, pretty good. So if anything, I would, because he doesn't have any output, I would go Rafael Fiziev like inside the distance. I think that's a sneaky little play, but I guess I'll go with Fiziev to win a close fight. But I'm going to DeCasey, yeah, but I don't know. I play Alves if I was going to play it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, he doesn't win fights by decision, really. All of his fights are some emphatic knockout where he's not winning because he just doesn't really have the output. Actually, I mean, Lando Venata and Joey Duffy were two fights he did win by decision and his last two wins. But if you look at Lando, he's more of the same. He needs to land something ridiculous or he doesn't win. And shot. So, Chris, who do you got here?
I'm with you guys. So I was doing work, you know, sponsors, help the boys out. But I'm with DeCasey as well. I think that he can be something special, if that makes sense. I think he was one of those people that went here, and now he's finding himself. Does that make sense? Like I think he's
only 28 too. Still,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. When he was on a bit of a skid, and I remember him saying on the microphone when he got a win, he was crying and he was all happy. And I think that he's coming into himself. He's getting that man strength, literally, upping his takedown defense a little bit, and his striking is flashy as fuck, and he's powerful. So. I like him, dude, and I want to see him do well.
Up next, got somehow minus 250, but also with a record of 500, Courtney Casey versus Lyanna Jojo.
Oh, fuck this fight. Oh,
yeah, fuck this fight. Exactly.
I'll make a pick. I'll just pick Jojo because she's hot.
Yeah, I'll pick Jojo because she's not minus 300 and 500.
I thought she was underdog.
I think she is. Jojo is a huge underdog.
That's what I do. I really like, so remember I just said a little earlier I was looking for an underdog parlay. I was going to do Kennedy, Jojo, and there was one more, which I guess we'll clearly get into. I'm trying to think of who it was, and I was going to parlay the three of them together.
Andrea Lee.
No,
kind of like her though. There. Let's keep going then.
Yeah.
All right, Sean Woodson and Colin Anglin. Yeah.
I'm picking against my boy Sean Woodson here.
Good, me too.
Yeah, fuck. I'm going with the wrestler with nothing to lose.
Which one of you guys were the one that was adamant Sean Woodson sucks? Was it Matt?
Matt, I still sucks.
You thought no, he thought Zalal was gonna beat Woodson. I was like, no.
That was one of those days where this is what happens. Mike says something. I'm pretty neutral. Like I'm like playing the mediator. You guys are going back and forth, and I'm just laughing at messages, emphasizing messages, and then Mike ends up being right. I was gonna say proves, but you know anything can happen. Matt ends up being right, or Mike ends up being right rather, but Matt just gets hammered drunk that night. So just like in his mind, it never happened. Just watches, and we're just on to the next event.
It was a decision. I'll give you that, Matt.
True.
Yeah, they both stink though.
Yeah, well, no, I'll go with Anglin here. I got a small play on him, but no, I don't have that many plays this week. Next week, Nathan Levy. I said it like 6 episodes ago. Nathan Levy is coming to the top. He's going to win his debut November 20th against Rafa Garcia next week. I got $600 on him. It's game time.
There you have it. Not, oh, this is a good fight. Let me just make sure this is yeah. Miguel Baeza versus Chaos Williams. Baeza, small favorite. I like Baeza all day here.
I do too. I honestly, Chaos Williams is not very good. He
sucks.
Throws with his chin way up in the air with no head movement. I just think he overachieved. He hits really fucking hard, and he's got heart. He's always pushing the action, but I honestly think he can lose in like 6 different ways in this fight. But the thing is, Miguel Baeza gets punched in the face a lot in all his fights. So I think this fight is not going the distance. I think it's going to be Baeza by, calf kick destroying or knockout, or he can take it to the ground and submit him, or KS wins by some crazy knockout. So I think there's no way this fight's going to decision, and I think Baeza is way better. Just don't get a hit with a fucking haymaker.
Chris?
Mike said exactly what I was going to say. I think Chaos is a way overachiever, and I think that his style is just going to he's going to pay for his style in the very near future. And it might not like what's his name? Like Brandon Moreno said, it might not be today, and it might not be next month, but one day he's going to get knocked the fuck out in the octagon because his style, he's just going to have to pay for it. He's an overachiever, and you know what sucks for him? Some of his wins have been like, I'm trying to think of the word, like devalued since he beat them. So like Al Hassan,
yeah,
he knocked him out, and it's just like, dude, he's looked like shit ever since. You know what I mean? Actually, he just got a nice win recently, but yeah, he looked like the Terminator, and then just got the shit beat out of him on the regular. So just something like that. It looks like it brings that win down a little bit, so it's not as impressive. Smellsburger, I mean, was a good win, but I think Baeza is fucking pretty good, dude, and he's pretty clean. So if he survives, I think the first round and a half, I think it's all him.
Yeah, I really do hope he wins, because I really do think Chaos needs to get a reality check. I just hope it's Baeza, man. Because
who's the favorite?
Baeza's a small favorite, -145. But he can go out there and look like a -1,000 easy. I think I think he should go for takedowns and secure a win, because you're coming off the Ponzinibbio loss, where you showed a lot of holes in your game, getting touched up by Ponzinibbio. You should come out here and show a different wrinkle of your game, get your confidence back, and figure shit out. He's at MMA Masters. I mean, it's a decent gym. It's a good gym. So get your shit together, and you can be something legit at 170.
Up next, female bout, Cynthia Calvillo and Andrea Lee. I actually like Andrea Lee here. I think these are two fighters where at this point in the career, you know exactly what they are. I don't think Calvillo still knows what she is. One fight, she comes out, she's a boxer. The next fight, she comes out, and she's going back to her wrestling roots. But I'm going to go Andrea Lee here. She went on a little bit of a tough skid, and in a lot of those fights, I'm going to double check myself right now. I think she was a pretty decent favorite in most of them, and Roxanne Modafferi, she was a sizable favorite, lost. Lauren Murphy, sizable favorite, lost. She went a little bit of a skid, but there was they had high hopes for her at the time, and I think she gets back on track here after I think Calvillo has kind of hit a wall lately. I mean, I know she beat Jessica Ai recently, but big fucking deal. And then she lost pretty convincingly to Chikagian, right?
Yeah.
And then Andrade. Not much needs to be said there, but things aren't looking too up for her. I think Andrea Lee turns it around, starts showing a little bit of why she was such a sizable favorite in a little bit earlier in her UFC stint. What do you think, Chris?
Dude, I'm sorry, I was working. What did you ask me?
Andrea Lee and Cynthia Calvillo.
I heard you talking about Chikagian. I actually love Chikagian. I was listening to her podcast a little bit with her husband. They're fucking cool. But Calvillo is, I don't know how to think about her, dude. She's like a little gangster that can't seem to figure it out. Like when she got beat by Andrade, she looked so flat and so like she looked like she was defeated before she came into the fight. And we've seen some sketchy shit go on with Andrea Lee. But her takedown defense isn't the best in the world. So I could see Calvillo mixing it up to a decision win here, dude. What are the odds?
She's minus 130, Lee plus 110.
I'd bet on, anything can happen in these fights. I'd probably bet on Lee, honestly, if she's plus money.
Well, that's funny because last week Cynthia Calvillo was minus 105, so she was a slight underdog, and so now she's minus 135 within 7 days. So the money's coming in on her, but I'm picking Calvillo to win because if she can get one takedown, I don't think Andrea Lee can get up. Is kind of
that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying.
So, but the thing is, I mean, granted, she lost to Chukagian, who's like number 2, and then she lost to Andrade, who's number 1. So she's fighting the best, So, but she doesn't look good. But Andrea Lee has a lot of output. If Calvillo can't get it to the ground, I think she's fucked. It really is a tale of two fights. So we'll see who wants it more. Honestly, I'll pick Calvillo for the win, but it's not a confident one at all.
Dude, Chukagian is low key my MMA crush. She is funny. Her personality is 10 out of 10.
Yeah, she's great. She's great. And much hotter too.
Yeah, and she's like she's like the perennial number 2 contender in the division. You know what I mean? Like, you beat her, you get a shot. But if she wins, she's not getting it because she's already lost to number 1 and Jet to ship beat ever by the champion. So like, she'll always just be right there. And she's never gonna beat Shevchenko. So she's just gonna be there forever. I could see her, honestly, if Shevchenko got like really hurt or had to be out or something, or fought, went up or down Shevchenko to a new division, and they created an interim, I could see Chukagian winning like an interim over, just whoever the fuck they put against her, and then obviously losing to Shevchenko again.
Yeah, for sure. She's a perennial number 2. Number times, but yeah, she's good. People like to think that her tennis sounds make her win fights in the eyes of the judges, but like, hey, whatever fucking works, she makes it work. She's good.
She just got a fight. She just got a booked fight against Jennifer Maia, and she's like, I'm not that hyped for it because I already beat her like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So she said when she got the offer, she's like, I obviously said yes, but I'm not really pumped for it. She's like, I'm going to train hard, but it is what it is.
I feel that.
She's getting paid now, though, dude. She has a lot of fights in the UFC. Her and her husband got $1 million houses in the Hamptons. They were on their boat yesterday. They got a big-ass house on the water in Long Island. So they're doing quite all right. So she's going in there for, 80 and 80 for a win. That's, do you, girl? She does that a couple times a year. You're fucking living like a fucking banking manager.
Yeah. Good for them. Great, power couple for sure,
For sure. Kyle Sermon, he's a fucking pimp.
Yeah.
But
Maddie, what's up?
Up next, we got a guy coming off of a loss to Islam Makhachev. We're going to be saying that a lot more often. Prior to that, he was on a 3-fight win streak against Joel Alvarez, who still is on a 3-fight win streak. Moises is minus 265, Alvarez plus 215. It looks about pretty straight across the board with all the sports books. You could get him as low as like minus 245 and Alvarez as low as plus 195. I think I don't know, man. This is a weird fight. I mean, Thiago was rolling before he walked into Makhachev, which, I don't really put much stock in that because he's going to fucking do that to everybody right now. But I think I'm going to go Thiago here to keep it rolling.
For sure.
Thiago.
No, I think he's just a level ahead of Alvarez right now. I think this is his fight. This is his fight to win. It's his time. Joe Alvarez is good. He'll come back. I think he'll win fights, but I think it's Moises or bust, baby. I've bet on him on every single fight since the Michael Johnson win, where he got his ass kicked for the first round and came out with a heel hook in the second. Since that fight, he's been a huge underdog in almost every single fight. Bobby Green, fucking everybody, and he's good, man. He's 26 and he's good. He's got it all. So I'm rocking with him. I think he can go far in the division.
I think so too. I think this is somewhat of a setup fight for him. Joel Alvarez is again another overperformer. I feel wasn't he like a gigantic underdog to Joe Duffy and then just fucked him up? That was like what put him on the map to me. Like really on the map to me at least. And I remember on the podcast we were all like, I was like, I have a hot take on this, and you were like, I think he's gonna win, and I was like, what the fuck? That's what I was gonna say. And he was like plus 300 or something, like, you know what I mean, to the point where someone you wouldn't call out a lower name like that. But yeah, I think Thiago Moises is doing better than Joel Alvarez and is at a higher level. You know what I mean? Fighting better opponents. I honestly, I don't want to pull a Matt here, but I really don't see a way he loses.
Yo, fun fact: Joel Alvarez has 0% takedown defense. 0.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
That's a stat he wants to keep, I'm sure.
Yeah, right. Can't stop these anymore.
I wonder what looks worse, honestly. Like, so say he's faced, 20 takedowns in the UFC and he's gotten taken down 20 times. If he stuffed one and his takedown defense was like 5%, like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's like debatably worse than 0. Because like 0, you could be like, oh, you only got to take, I don't know.
What it would be even more impressive if he's got, 20 fights in the UFC and 0% takedown defense, but he has all wins.
Right?
Nuts.
Or what if he fought someone like fucking I'm just saying, I know different weight class, but like Marab, someone that's just going to let him up a bunch of times, so he faces and loses like 13 takedowns a fight. You know what I mean? So he's like, he stuffs one takedown. His takedown defense is like 1%. Anyway,
that does sound 0%.
Matthew.
Yep. Next up, fresh off a beating of fucking Andre Ewell, we got Julio Arce versus Song split decision Yadong.
Oh,
I'm fading Yadong here just because I still don't like him.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I know realistically though, I think he's gonna win this fight. I think it's gonna be pretty convincing too. Like I don't think Arce's that good. I really don't. And like he's coming out here. I mean, he's fighting guys like Kyler Phillips, even though he lost. He's beat Casey Kenny. Like the level of competition is just so much higher than I think Arce's seen. And I think Yadong has shown a lot more. The only thing that's sketching me out about this fight, honestly, is the odds. Like he's only minus 130. I don't know. I favor him like at least minus 180, 175 here in favor of Yadong.
Pretty sure the odds, man. I'm pretty sure Yadong started as a pretty hefty favor, or like more significantly more than minus 130.
I mean, I see him as low as minus 160.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess people think Arce is gonna come out here and do. I think Arce is very technically sound. I just think that I don't know. I don't know if he has the power, and Yadong is good for 2 rounds. Like he's, I'm saying Yadong knows how to win 2 rounds. Like like you said, with the split decisions and all that shit. So I would love if Arce won for sure, representing Tiger Schulman's and that crew over there. But no, I got to pick Yadong here, unfortunately.
I'm just saying, I've noticed on Instagram lately, I saw at least 2 times the UFC posted something of Arce, and I haven't seen anything of Song Yadong. Like little things, like I'm Julio Arce, and like his stats come up and he like throws a couple punches, and then it's just like I was like, interesting, like and I feel oftentimes when the odds are this close in a fight, and obviously Yadong is ranked, and he's got, I feel, a little bit more name value. You set up Arce in this, pass that test, and you take that, and we just started promoting you. You got a nice win. You know what I mean? Slow build, and I kind of see that happening here. So I would like to see Arce win as well.
Yeah.
Word. Might make me place a bet, Chris. That was fucking the best. That was amazing.
Thank you.
I'm running with that.
Up next, Felicia Spencer, Leah Letson, minus 320, plus 250.
Next.
Spencer.
Seriously. Leah Letson,
veteran. So, and happy Veterans Day.
Yeah.
Dude, really in the fucking right order.
I just mean this purely as a joke, but Leah Letson looks like the fucking dude from Napoleon Dynamite. Grab my arm. Other arm. My other arm. She just looks intimidating as fuck. Like, she looks like a girl that could fuck me up.
Yeah, I think she's gonna lose, but yeah, whatever. I mean, Felicia sucks too. I mean, realistically, she's not very good. She just good in
name recognition, dude. Literally name recognition. She just fought some of the best chicks in the division, and people remember her. Oh wow, she didn't get knocked out.
Yeah,
she must be good. You know what I mean? It's just like, remember Nunes put the belt on her. I remember someone was like, "Show this to one of your boys who fell asleep during the UFC fight," and it's Nunes putting the belt on Felicia Spencer. Imagine you woke up and that's what happened.
That's one of the better memes out there.
Yeah. But I think we're all in agreement, Spencer. Next.
Yeah.
Next. Can we stop on cards? Like Ben Rothwell versus Marcos Rogerio.
Yeah.
Rothwell, fresh off a win over star-studded prospect Chris Barnett. Trying to hype it up as much as I can. 40 years young. And then
star-studded prospect.
And then DeLima, who's literally won one, lost one in every single fight since 2015. That's actually a pretty big sample size. Strictly based off of that, I'm going Rothwell because he beat Murray that fight. He's every single fight since 2015. It's 6 years worth of fucking fights. I'm like Rothwell, and he's the favorite.
Well, yeah. I mean, both of these guys, it's just I don't even know. Yeah, it's just at the point now, DeLima's going to go for some takedowns. Ben Rothwell's got really good grappling skills and could stuff it. I just see these guys getting tired at the end of the third round and this fight going to a decision.
This fight sucks, dude. This fight absolutely sucks. And you know who sucks worse than this fight? Both these guys at this point in their career. They fucking both suck. I'm sorry. Ben Rothwell is slower than molasses. Rogerio DeLima taps quicker than any white belt I've ever seen from like the tiniest little choke. They both are not. It's over for them. It's just like a shitty fight, and it's the co-main event. Can you imagine if the fight at the head main event dropped off and our main event was Ben Rothwell?
I think they'd have to put what would they do if that happened?
Dude, I don't.
If I was them, I would just promote probably Thiago Moises, I guess.
I just
this
don't.
Card sucks, man.
It's a brutal co-main. I just don't.
But the main event is fucking sweet. So
it's almost bottom heavy in a way. Like it starts off with like a bunch of bangers if you're a true fan, and then it turns into just kind of dog shit.
All right, well, let's talk main event, dude, because that's all that matters on this card.
Yeah, well, Max Holloway's minus 760, which I think is fucking nuts. Like, I would play Yair just based off of the line without even looking at the fight in any technical and doing any type of analysis. Like, I'm not. I mean, dude, FanDuel has him as high as 850. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking insane. I agree. I think he should be like minus 400 tops. Maybe around there. I do think he wins like 9 times out of 10. I really do. But those odds are a little outrageous. But like the thing is, he took the Max Holloway that we know, who's very good, who beat the shit out of Aldo and Frank and pretty much everybody except for a couple fighters, and he took his Max level to another fucking level, like with the Calvin Kattar fight, man. That was absolutely some outrageous shit. But the thing is, it's a boxing match because Calvin Kattar's a boxer, so Max Holloway proved he's a better boxer and. Just had tremendous output. This fight's going to be very different because Yair is just going to, stay farther back and throw kicks and shit. But I think that when, come round 3, when Yair starts getting tired from all his power fucking spinning shit, Max Holloway's going to turn up on him and beat his fucking ass. And it's going to be just domination. I really do think Yair's not ready for this shit. Straight up. He's not ready for it.
And dude, his time off is totally working against him. He hasn't fought since October of 2019. So that's over 2 years ago. And before that was, the oh my God, the eye poke of Jeremy Stevens. The Mexicans were throwing bottles into the fucking arena, into the octagon and shit. So he has one fight in 2 years. And then if you go back again, it's November of 18. So in 2 years, 3 fights. He beat Korean Zombie. So dude, he lost to Frankie Edgar. He got stopped. His eye literally came out of his head. He came back, lost to Korean Zombie, essentially, literally won with 1 second left, and then beat Jeremy Stevens in a decision. It's like, all right, who hasn't beat Jeremy Stevens in a decision at this point? And before that, BJ Penn, Alex Caceres, Andre Fili was on unreal knockout. That's like highlight reel forever. And Dan Hooker. But that was before Dan Hooker was Dan Hooker. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is Max Holloway has fought literally everybody. Aldo twice, fucking Decatur, Volkanovski twice, Pettis, Poirier, like, dude, also twice. It's just like all these. He's fought everybody. Been through the ringer and back, and he's just still like, he looks like the champion of the division. I said it last time. Oh, Ortega fucked Ortega up. I couldn't believe that. Like, to me, although the fight was fucking outstanding, Volkanovski versus Ortega, outstanding fight. I had the edge of my seat, amazing fight. I couldn't get into that fight right away because Max Holloway's in the division. You know what I mean? And I felt like he was the champ. So, like, Ortega, if Ortega would have won that fight, like, say he got that guillotine and he won, I would have been like, all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Holloway's legit as fuck is all I'm trying to get at. I think he's definitely going to win. Minus 800 is just wild to me. Like,
those odds make me think, like, because, like, listen, when we think of Islam Makhachev, we think of, like, pure domination in the grappling department, right? Offensive wrestling, grappling, offensive domination on the ground, right? That is significantly safer in terms of, like, fight ending from the other guy, right? It's not like fucking, what's his face? Drew Dober is going to throw up a triangle choke on Islam and win the fight, right? He's not going to knock him out from the ground, right? But we get these two strikers, someone who, Yair, if anything, has some pretty outstanding, like, distance striking, kind of like Wonder Boy-esque in a way. And it's very, very good against Max Holloway, who obviously is way, way better. But those odds are outrageous. Makes me think that Vegas knows that Max Holloway is going to put that ass beating on Yair. It's going to happen. It's one way, round 1 somehow, or round 5, he's going to beat the shit out of Yair Rodriguez.
The line keeps getting wider too, so people are taking Holloway at this line.
Yeah, which is again, somebody knows some.
Props to Maxie, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, boys, what else we got?
That's it for me. I'm fucking working already. I'm tired. I'm not going to make it to the end of my shift tonight.
Yo, who deserves a title shot? Islam Makhachev or Justin Gaethje?
Gaethje.
Who would I trust more to take the belt is a different question.
No. No, who deserves it?
Gaethje. Who would win? Makhachev.
Yeah.
I think
Makhachev would beat Gaethje this weekend.
Yeah,
ideal scenario, honestly, is Poirier wins the belt, fights Gaethje, and then Makhachev fights Oliveira, because I just want to see that fight.
Yeah.
That would be something,
Or Oliveira just wins the belt. They let Islam fight one more time, and then it's belt time. Because I don't think Justin Gaethje would beat fucking Oliveira either, honestly.
Yeah. I think Oliveira's...
I do. I think Justin Gaethje would beat Oliveira.
Really?
I think he would be a sizable, not sizable, but, plus 175 type underdog. But yeah.
I thought you were going to say sizable favorite. I was like, yo.
No. Poirier's the favorite though, right? Or no?
Yeah, he is. Yep.
That's wild.
It's been worth though,
I hate when they make the not the champ the favorite, but
yeah. Imagine when fight for the belt, Islam's going to be like a minus 250 challenger.
Insane.
Yo, what's the date for that card?
December 11th?
11th, I think. Yeah.
Word. We should do something for that for sure.
Yeah,
I'm down or whatever.
All right, word. Let's figure something
We'll figure it out, fellas.
I'm down.
All right,
boys. Episode 90 in the books. Like, comment, subscribe. Help the boys out. Matt, do not leave the meeting. Make sure you save this to the cloud, brother. This is going into...
Wait, do I have to hit end first? No.
I think so. On the bottom, it'll just go to the cloud, I'm pretty sure. But make sure hit stop recording. Don't just leave.
Okay. Alrighty, I'm going to stop. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Don't get COVID.